In this video, we're going to be diving in, taking another look at this Polygon Siskiu T7. This is the 2022 model, but for the 2023 model, it didn't change at all. So this bike is so good that I figured I would redo a review on this to show you how well it's held up and to show you what you're getting if you were to purchase this bike. And the only thing that changed for 2023 is they added a gray, it's like a grayish white color scheme, which I think is really awesome. They didn't have that for 2022, but that's the one I would have got, this flashy color. I mean, it does look good, but the gray, I think it would have suited me a little bit better. But we're gonna dive in today, show you what you get with the Polygon Siskiu T7. Let's dive into this right now. All right, so looking at this bike, it looks amazing. I'm just gonna go over some of the geometry real quick. I don't have the numbers offhand. I'm out, literally. I just got done doing some jumps, trying to learn how to jump, and I crashed pretty bad. So I'm kind of recovering from that, but I figured I'd do a review of this. Look how slack that head tube angle is. Really gets that front wheel out. So you have a lot of stability on the fast downhill sections. And I found that that is definitely the case. I feel super confident coming down these steep descents and stuff. That wheel is just really pushed out. Really like that. Overall, the whole bike is just amazing. I have no issues so far, and I've had it over a year. Actually, the only issue I've had, and that was probably my fault, or it could have just been a little too tight from the factory, was I broke one spoke, and that was it on the front wheel. I think it was just a little too tight from the factory, and it actually broke the little nipples here. But I put a new one in, and it's been good ever since. But other than that, the RockShox Recon fork up front is just phenomenal. And then the RockShox Deluxe rear shock, no complaints there either. But we'll dive into that a little bit here in a minute. But we're gonna start up at the front of the bike and then work our way to the back. That way I don't miss anything. First thing we're gonna look at is the Schwalbe tires. Not even sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it's good enough. These things are super wide. I mean, they are just chunky pieces of rubber there, and they have a really nice pattern on them. They're just amazing. And I think these are what, 2.7s? Oh, 2.6, yeah, these are 27.5 by 2.6, so you're still getting a really chunky tire. Definitely a lot thicker than what you get on like an XC bike. And this just makes it so much more stable on this loose gravel sections and stuff. No issues whatsoever there. They have Entity branded alloy wheels. Once again, no issues whatsoever with these. You know, I'm not a hardcore jumper or anything like that, so maybe that's one reason I haven't ruined these. But they do come tubeless ready. You can see I do have a muck off tubeless valve stem there, Presta valve, and I do run the muck off slime inside these. But converting these things to tubeless was just a breeze. I'm talking super easy. Love the sidewall pattern on these tires. In my opinion, I don't think I would choose any other tire for this bike. Up front, you do have a 180 mil rotor. You do have 2-piston hydraulic brakes. These are the Tektros. No complaints out of that. A lot of people don't like the Tektros, but I found that these work pretty daggone good. Now, I don't like the cable actuated versions of Tektro brakes. They just are just garbage, but these hydraulics, I have no issues whatsoever with these. You do have a boost through axle up front. Super nice system here, really beefy. And then that RockShox Recon fork, just loving this thing. Nice air fork. And if you get the 27.5 inch wheel size in this, you do get the 150 mils of travel right here. Just a really nice setup. But if you get the 29 inch wheel, you get 140 mils of travel up front. Just show you a little bit on this side of the through axle. Now I do have a little mud guard here that I put on, so it's a nice little touch, and the accents color match the bike. So up here, you do have a little compression adjustment. So right there is fully open, and then you can dial it down to pretty much lock out the fork. It doesn't completely lock it out, but it's good enough to still soak up some of the bumps if you do have it in the locked out position. Super easy to adjust the air pressure and stuff in this. You just take off the cap here, hook up your air shock pump to it, and you're good to go. Let me get a shot of the rebound. This would be one of my only complaints, is the rebound adjustment on the bottom of the fork here is plastic. It's like a cheap filling little plastic dial, which serves a good purpose, but I can see it kind of protrudes out the bottom just a little bit. If you can see it there, kind of protrudes out the bottom. If you were to get a rock gouged on that thing, it wouldn't be good for this shock. So I don't know, that's one of my complaints on the fork. Okay, other than that rebound adjustment, this fork is just rock solid. Haven't had any issues out of the seals of the wipers. You know, I just clean this off after every ride. One thing that a lot of people don't like about this is that this fork shows like discoloration. You can see it kind of looks like a gunmetal bluing. So it's a little discolored, but I don't really care. You know, it looks a little dirty, right? That's because I just crashed the crap out of this thing. But I figured I'd stop and do a review video while I'm in recovery. But I don't mind it, guys. It's gonna get beat up, it's gonna get banged around. I don't care if the forks are discolored a little bit. All right, moving on. We have a nice tapered head tube, and this is a tapered steerer fork, so you're getting a high quality fork there. Didn't mention that. Moving up to the handlebars, do have the Tektros, which once again, I've had this thing for a year. I haven't had to bleed the brakes or anything yet. They've held up really good till I beat it up a little bit just now. But I still have the Entity branded grips on this. I haven't been running these the whole time, but for the purposes of this video, I figured I'd throw them back on to show you what you get with the bike. But honestly, these things are just amazing. I think I'm gonna keep these on here. So those are Entity branded ones, as well as you get an Entity branded handlebar. This is 180 mils wide. It's a really wide handlebar. So really nice little bar there, and the stem is also Entity branded. So a short reach stem, I really like that. Keeps it nice and stable, rock solid, don't have to worry about it breaking. Some FSA branded components here too. Okay, let's move to the frame. I really like the frame design on this thing. Now, it doesn't have a bash guard or anything like that, or a frame protector, but the paint job I think looks killer. And it has like little, like these are raised up little accents on here. So really nice little attention to detail there that Polygon threw in. You can tell that they do have these little included rubber things to stop the cables from rubbing on the frame. And sorry about the dirt and everything. This thing, like I said, just went through a pretty good crash. So I haven't cleaned it off yet. But yeah, very nice frame. You do have a water bottle mount right down here that you could use. It does have the internal cable routing. You can see it enters there, exits here, and then where you have the rear linkage and everything hooked up, it does have to exit and go to the rear here. Rock solid design on the shock tube housings and the shock mounts there. This does have the RockShox Deluxe Select Plus rear shock. And one thing I like about RockShox is they include, so you can set your sag, and please check out my sag videos on how to set the mountain bike sag. Very important, crucial part of being able to soak up those bumps on the trails and have your bike perform. But this right here gives you a reference with the included O-ring on how to set your sag. So nice there. Also, you got your rebound adjustments here. You can see adding more rebound or lessening the rebound. And you can lock out the rear shock by actuating that little lever. Once again, it doesn't fully lock it out, but it does put it in a position to where it locks it out enough to where it's still going to soak up some of the bumps. Once again, I like how that top tube really slopes down, gets the whole bar out of the way and stuff, so when you're doing jumps and things like that, that top tube isn't going to be in your way. It really has a nice modern geometry to it. This does have the Polygon one-piece pivot joint, So this right here is supposed to minimize pedal bog and stuff on the going uphill and things like that, which I think it really does. You know, I haven't had any issues with it. And then one thing right here I want to mention, if you get a bike from Bikes Online and you have to assemble this thing pretty much by yourself, it does include what you need to tighten it down to, 15 Newton meters, and it comes with a little torque wrench. So that is awesome. It shows you exactly what everything needs to be torqued down to. I'm talking everything, even the seat tube clamp right here. You can see 7 Newton meters. Everything has a designation on what it needs to be tightened down to, so you're not stripping out bolts and ruining your brand new bike. So that is just awesome from Bikes Online. Down here, we swapped out the cheap pedals. Obviously, they're just, you know, demo pedals are the ones that come on it. But these are the Fuker, and these are like a knockoff of the Race Face Chester pedals, which these pedals are just awesome. I think they got me pretty good right here on this last crash that I had. But yeah, they keep your feet on there, especially if you have a set of mountain bike shoes. They're really going to grip into those. Because of that soft rubber compound. But moving back into the bike, no issues with the shock at all. None of the hardwares ever came loose, but I do keep a good check on it to make sure that nothing is coming loose during my rides. Another thing I freaking love about this bike is the Shimano Hollowtech bottom bracket and Shimano crankset that this thing has. I'm a big fan of the Shimano Hollowtech bottom brackets. You can see the bottom bracket there. You know, I put this on my gravel bike as well. This is just a super solid, inexpensive, really nice way to upgrade your bike. But this one comes with it. So nice Hollowtech bottom bracket, Shimano crank arms. These are alloy. Let's flip this thing around. You can see there, nice open right there. Very nice crankset. Well, now I can't remember off the top of my head how many teeth this is. Let's see. 32 tooth chain ring up front. No issues there. Narrow, wide chain ring. Gets the job done. Pretty nice chain. Haven't had any issues there either. Let's move on down to the chainstay there. It has a nice rubber chainstay guard on this thing. Really nice. I haven't seen that on a lot of more expensive bikes. They'll just have like a piece of, you know, clear plastic wrapped around there or something. This does have the 12-speed Derailleur rear derailleur on it. It's have the Shimano cassette at the back. 12-speed cassette. Very nice Derailleur drivetrain here. You know, it has a nice little clutch feature right there, so you can lock it out. So the chain's not gonna be bouncing around and stuff as you're going down the trail. Zero issues out of this Derailleur derailleur. Super nice design. It's beefy. You can tell that's all metal construction. And guys, if you have to replace one of these, they're only like 56 bucks on Amazon. Very low cost for a Derailleur, and they just hold up. And the cassette, no different. It's held up really well. The hub in the back, it does come with Shimano hubs, if it'll focus. And I think the hub sounds really good too. And then once again, you have the Tektro brakes in the rear here. I think in the rear, this is just a single piston, I believe. And then up front, you have a 2-piston. This is what it looks like. But once again, I'm not a gear snob, so I don't really know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. Once again, 180 mil rotor in the back and some nice little polygon accents there. But overall, guys, this is a heck of a deal from Polygon. I checked these out the other day on Bikes Online. So if you've never checked out Bikes Online, just a super nice bike shop that's online, and you order your bike, you pay for it, and it shows up to your door in less than like 10 days. I'm talking peak of COVID, I got my bike in less than 10 days. That's how quick they ship to you. And you're getting high quality components, just like I showed you, that you would get on certain bikes from like Trek, Cannondale, Giant, Diamondback, all those big brands. you get with this, but Polygon makes their own frames and things like that, and then throw those high quality components on there, so it keeps the cost down, and they ship straight to your door instead of having to go through dealerships and stuff to outsource their bikes. So you're getting a heck of a deal. I want to say this bike right now is only like $1,600. When I bought it, it was $2,000. So they've went down in price, and it's still the same bike, but probably better. It comes with a better color scheme now. So definitely check out Bikes Online. I'm going to do a tutorial on Bikes Online, showing you different comparisons. We might do some comparisons between this bike and a couple other ones. Another bike I was looking at in comparison to this one was the T8. The T8 is pretty much the same frame, same head tube angle and all that, but it comes with a Fox 34, and it comes with a Fox float rear shock. That is literally the only difference, and I think it's like $600 or $700 more. So I couldn't justify spending that much more on that bike versus this one, because I'm not a hardcore jumper, obviously. I just about killed myself. But that was another bike I was looking at. And then the Marin Drift, I think it was what it was, or Marin Rift, the bike that was pretty much the same price as this one, but it didn't have a dropper post. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this has a dropper post. So that right there, once again, it's pretty dirty. Transax dropper post. Never had any issues out of this. I have to clean this seal up because I got dirt all down in it. Very nice Entity branded saddle. And it's kind of short. It's kind of a short saddle, but I really like that for trail use. It really tucks it up whenever you're doing those fast descents and things. But yeah, guys, check out Bikes Online. I can't stress it enough. You got to get a really, really good deal. And you have to assemble it a little bit on your own. So it's going to give you that pride of ownership that you put it together, and it's going to show you how to kind of work on your bike, so you can take pride in doing that yourself as well, instead of having to take it to a bike shop every single time. Because as a bike owner, you really need to know how to work on your own bikes a little bit. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. I'm going to roll some clips right now in a minute of me riding this bike and stuff, and just showing you a little bit of what it can do. And like I said, I'm not a complete expert on this by no means. I still wreck quite a bit. So my biggest thing is riding woods and trails and things like that. Not leaving the ground too much. That's still what I'm kind of working on. Check out other videos on YouTube. There's other people out there jumping these things, like on big jumps and things like that. Stuff I can't do, but guys, it can do it. So check out those videos as references as well. And check out my other videos on this bike as well. I'm going to put a playlist together on the channel. And guys, this is a pretty new channel, because I have another YouTube channel, and I've kind of branched off and tried to make a different channel geared towards bikes and things like that. So expect a lot more videos in the future. I'm going to try to build this channel up and give you guys some more content, especially around this bike, because it is that good. This is my main mountain bike, and I do some gravel bike stuff, but this thing is amazing. So please check it out. As once again, thanks for watching. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in future videos. Thanks for watching.